Hello Aquarius, welcome to your September forecast for the year of 2017. I am Kyana Mayfield from LibraLunaCenter.com, and I'm so sorry that the September forecast is so late, but hopefully October will be much quicker, so be sure to be on the lookout for those videos as well. So they are coming out very soon. And so September for all of us has been a preliminary month between the August eclipse season with the lunar and solar eclipse in Aquarius and Leo, right? And next month, October, which is when Jupiter comes into Scorpio and makes everything much more intense, much more concrete, and much more focused in a specific area and direction of our lives, right? And officially launches us into the next chapter. So, Aquarius. Aquarius, this month for you is all about the colliding of two universes. What that means is you're not just dealing with yourself this month, right? You are learning how to share yourself, Aquarius, and this has been one of the most difficult things for you to do in all of your life, right? Because the Aquarius archetype has been one that has been abused, that has been misused, has been similar to all the fixed signs, right? Misused in a way where, especially for you, Aquarius, you in particular have been rejected, right? Have been rejected by the collective society. And that means that your archetype has not been fully embraced by the culture in which you live. And so with that, the state you've been in has been either in the conforming of yourself to a certain standard, meaning you kind of blend in with a crowd, right? You kind of just go along with what everyone else thinks you should do, thinks you should say, and the way they think you should be, right? Without listening to your own personal intuition about what it is that you really are, right? And the only thing that sort of separates you is our little quirks, right? The little quirks that kind of make everyone chuckle, but don't really bring any sense of satisfaction. Or you completely rebel against the culture, the group, the environment to which you belong. And you kind of internalize everything within yourself, right? I myself am an Aquarius, so I know this story, right, very well. You go into your own mind, right? You go into the state of spacing out, right? Spacing out and distancing yourself, detaching yourself from your reality, detaching yourself from the world, detaching yourself from everything to the point where you are no longer present, right? You're no longer here, you're somewhere else. And in that sense, no one can fully relate to you. No one has been fully able to relate to you. And so there's this sense of isolation. There's this sense of, there's this sense of loneliness, right? And with that sense of loneliness, when you are alone, Aquarius, the world is a much smaller place, right? And that this conversation that has been happening for you for many years of your life now is finally culminating to its head by the time we get to the full moon in Pisces, conjuncting Neptune in your second house. And think back to your birthday period, right around your birthday period, February 26th, Pisces birthday period, but just after your birthday period, right? February 26th, earlier this year, we had the new moon solar eclipse in Pisces, and it was speaking to the last bit of remnants of the nodal axis in Virgo Pisces that we've been having since the end of 2015. So this right now is the final somewhat release of what that story has been for the past 2 years, right? And for you, this story has been all about feeling disillusioned with yourself, disillusioned with your identity, disillusioned with the things that you value, what your self-worth actually is, right? You're changing your values now. You're changing what brings you a sense of stability. You're changing your priorities, and with that, you're changing your beliefs regarding how you stabilize yourself in this world, right? As you have been in this drifty, somewhat distant, detached frame of how you live your life, right? And the universe now is requiring you to be much more present, much more here, much more grounded. You're having to look where your blockages regarding grounding are. And in your second house, this is beliefs, beliefs regarding your self-worth, right? What practical skills you possess, what you're able to do, what your talents, your gifts are, you know, how you manifest your reality, how you manifest money, the money you attract, how you make your money, right? All of that is coming to the test now. All of that is being looked at fully. And there is like this discretionary analytical perspective that you're taking on all of it, as there's this stellium, massive stellium in Virgo for you happening in the opposite house, the 8th house. And it is in regards to how you contribute, how you are a part of the story, Aquarius. Where do you fit inside? And that's the problem, right? Where you have been having this fear regarding fitting inside of anything, right? Fitting inside of any sort of box, any sort of system, any sort of relationship, any sort of exchange, because it is the limiting of yourself. Because you are limitless in your mind, right? You are limitless in your dreams, but when you actually have to apply yourself, when you actually have to be a part of a story, this is when you feel limited. This is when you feel trapped. And Aquarians hate to feel trapped, right? But we finally come to this. The shedding of illusions regarding what you think your value is, what you think your skills are, and what you think you ultimately value in your life, right? Because even though you are having the South Node in your sign, Aquarius, so this is an extra crucial conversation for you regarding what your identity has been up to this point, because there's a part of you that believes that this is the only way to be, right? The only way to be is to detach yourself from everyone, to not be here, to space out, right? To hide yourself in a sense. And all of that is being thrown out the window because you're realizing that just being by yourself, just being isolated, even though you feel unique, even though you feel connected to yourself in that moment, ultimately it's not what brings you fulfillment, Aquarius. And you are having to learn how to share. And this conversation in particular is having a major emphasis when we get to the new moon in Virgo on September 19th, which will be 27 degrees and opposing over to Chiron retrograde in Pisces in your 2nd house, and also squaring over to Saturn and Sagittarius in your 11th. But this new moon in Virgo, Aquarius, for you is all about commitment. It's all about sharing. It's all about and you're having, you had the solar eclipse in Leo, your opposite sign, last month. So of course this is a major emphasis on partnership, a major emphasis on relationship, and how you can commit yourself to a higher level of intimacy, right? So this is how you follow through. This new moon in Virgo is testing and implanting new intentions, new seeds regarding how you share yourself, how you make promises and how you keep promises, right? How you are part of the grand story, how your thread fits into the tapestry of the bigger picture, right? How you are able to contribute in your own way by simply showing up, right? And you're learning how to merge your resources with the other, right? You're learning how to merge your universe with the other, especially as we've been having Jupiter. We've been having Jupiter through all of this year in Libra in your 9th house. And this is all about Jupiter in the 9th house as well, is the natural placement for Jupiter, because Sagittarius rules the 9th house and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, right? So you have been expanding your beliefs, Aquarius. You have been expanding your mind. You have been opening yourself to a higher state of consciousness by simply allowing other people in, right? Other people to penetrate your world, right? And this isn't an easy thing for Aquarians to do. Not really, because you have been so detached from yourself. up to this point, right? For most of your life, as the Aquarius archetype has been misused and rejected in a very powerful way for, and as well as all of the fixed signs in a sense, but in that way, that story has been consistently playing out as a theme in your life, Aquarius. And now is the time where a whole new chapter starts, where you're learning how to be a part of not only a team, but a union, right? What does it mean to come together in union? Not just communion, not just community, even though that is a major emphasis as well with Saturn in your 11th house, but actual intimacy. How do you open the layers of yourself, Aquarius, and allow another in? And as you learn to value your own character, as you learn to value who you are, as you learn what your gifts and what your message and what ultimately you're here to contribute to the greater picture, right? Ultimately, this allows a greater degree of not only being able to manifest, a greater power in being able to manifest and being able to build financial reserves for yourself, right? By participating in something bigger, right? By getting into the flow, getting into the stream of the marketplace with the 8th house. But it opens you up to a deeper level of love, a deeper level of intimacy, and by grounding yourself in who you are able to develop deeper partnerships that are rooted in solidity, or solidly rooted in the earth, right? That are natural, not abstract or theoretical partnerships, right? The relationship of the mind is an abstract relationship, right? When you are only able to relate to others on a mental level, Aquarius, you are able to do this very, very, very easily, right? Because of course you are an air sign, and this is your, your forte. But you don't just want to stay in your comfort zone, right? Because that's just going to continue leading you down the same path that you've been on, right? You're not able to get a deeper level of satisfaction from any relationship, any partnership, any transaction that you are a part of, right? You are able to get the level of job satisfaction or work satisfaction or love satisfaction that you ultimately wish to cultivate, because there hasn't been this grounding of yourself and the willingness to open and vulnerably share what that is, right? What you are, who you are. And this is that intention. This is the commitment to open yourself up all the way, Aquarius, especially before we get to Jupiter and Scorpio at the top of your chart, which is having you open up to the whole world in a deeper way, right? So before that happens, we get to a major conversation throughout all of this year, right? A major conversation between Jupiter and Libra in your 9th house, directly opposing Uranus, your ruling planet, in Aries retrograde, 27 degrees in your 3rd house. And on that day as well, Pluto will be coming direct, Pluto in Capricorn in your 12th. And so Aquarius, again, we get to finally the merging of universes, the colliding of worlds, right? The colliding of two separate universes meeting in the middle and creating a trinity, right? Because Jupiter in Libra in your 9th house has been having you expand in this area, right? By expanding your beliefs by simply allowing other people in, by simply allowing other people to bring a new perspective on your world, right? By being able to see another's world, being able to see another's universe, by opening yourself up to that story, right? Opening yourself up to someone else's story other than your own, right? As, of course, and this will be a major conversation throughout all of, throughout this next year until we get to November of 2018, which is how long the North Node will be in your opposite sign, right? So you're realizing, Aquarius, that life, your life, and everyone's life is better when it's bigger, right? When it's not just about your point of view, when it's not just about the ideas you have, even though you have your ruling planet, yes, Uranus in Aries in your third house, the area of your mind, the area of your environment, the area of the ideas and the knowledge of oneself. Yes, you are getting downloads, you are getting grandiose visions, right, of the future, of who you could be, what could be, right? You're getting premonitions. You're getting premonitions. But it's better when other people are a part of that equation, right? When other people give you their perspective, when other people give you their visions, right? Because now you're part of a collective mind. You're part of, this is the merging of minds, right? This is the merging of worlds. And when another merges their world with yours, your life, Aquarius, becomes so much richer because you're no longer alone, you're no longer isolated, and you're able to fulfill what your sign is all about, right? Your sign is all about the connection between human beings to create the greater body of humanity. What is that thread? What creates that electromagnetic psychic body of multiple different dimensions and multiple different universes, right? It is this exchange. It is this merging of worlds that must happen first, right? And with Pluto coming direct in your 12th house, this major conversation with the journey awaiting you, with a much bigger universe awaiting you, a much more richer universe awaiting you. You have to determine how you're going to use that power, right? Are you going to step into your spiritual integrity? Are you going to break out of your unconscious fears, right? Your subconscious patterns with Pluto in your 12th, right? Pluto in your 12th speaking to either abounding, like limitless spiritual strength, right? The breaking of systems, the breaking of patterns once and for all. Perhaps even multi-generational patterns, right? Not just your own, but everyone's in your immediate influence, right? You're able to break everyone's patterns as you break out of your own. But are you going to choose to step into that role by allowing other people into your world and you having the courage to step into another person's world? Or are you going to stay in your own bubble? Are you going to stay in this self-destructive process of I'm sorry, Aquarius. It's very loud outside, but are you going to choose to stay in that bubble, Aquarius? The bubble where you're, you know, where you're sitting in your car listening to your own music? Or are you going to allow another person to play their tune? Right? Are you going to sing in harmony? Or are you going to sing alone? And you don't want to be alone anymore, Aquarius, because the world needs you and you need the world. Humanity needs you just as much as you need humanity. And you can't separate the two, right? You can't be the savior and you can't be the victim. You don't want to be. And you don't want to be the outcast either. You don't want to be the outcast, because that's a lonely story, right? That's a lonely story. And the only way to develop deeper love within yourself and for others, and for the relationships that are here to initiate you into that path, right? Which can be very much rooted in purity and a much more deeper level of intimacy than you've ever felt before, right? And with that, of course, for all Aquarians, this is a major relationship time in your life, right? A major relationship time in your life. Over the next year, Aquarius, you will be building relationships that have the potential to be there for life. There's a lifelong type of quality to it, because there is this opening of yourself to the other that is beckoning you forward. And as you open yourself more and more to your heart, Aquarius, this is where you get your joy from. This is where you get your level of fulfillment. And this is how love is ultimately experienced. So thank you very much, Aquarius, for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful September. Be sure to watch your sun, your moon, and your rising/ascendant sign, as well as any stelliums you may have. So let's say you have 4 or more planets in a particular sign. You may want to check out that video as well. All of this because you want to look at what is speaking to your personal natal chart. But feel free as well, as always, to listen to your personal intuition above and beyond all when it comes to any type of intuitive device given over, the internet. This is your internal GPS system, and this is first and foremost the advice you must take, right? So if you would like a personal reading with me, I do have links in the description below for you to be able to do so. And again, thank you very much for watching, Aquarius. I hope you all have a wonderful September, and I will see you next month in October.